Welcome again to Uplift 66, a weekly video podcast that addresses issues of grief and loss. This is a resource for persons and families that have been afflicted by grief. The resource available would largely focus on spiritual nuggets that I am sure will appeal to some of you, as it has appealed to me in my own time of bereavement, which is quite recent, by the way. Uplift 66 is so called because on my 66th birthday, I received the news of the untimely passing of my only daughter, Akeisha Phillips. She was dead at age 43. The other component of 66 is the fact that I have had the time to look into the scriptures and come to realize that there are verses that treat with upliftment in every book of the Bible. It's important to state that upliftment is spiritual. That's what we need when we are in a season of grief, which could be a very long time. But it also has the capacity to treat with social and economic upliftment. And so, over the course of this program, we will see how much beyond spiritual upliftment this program and the resources shared will impact the people who are tuned in. What is the anchor for this program? The anchor for this video podcast is a Bible verse from John 10, verse 10. And that says, I have come that you can have life and have it more abundantly. Abundant life is still within our grasp. And we are in a position to climb out of the valley. We have to position ourselves to do that, to go up the hill, to reach the hilltop, to live a full life again, to move from hopelessness to hope, to move from brokenhearted to being purpose-oriented. That is why I am about this program, because as I too tune in, I'm looking for growth. We say restore, renew, and recharge your own selves is very reasonable and very possible. I want to say this before I close. Lamentations chapter 3 references that the Lord allows grief, but He also provides compassion. And so I trust that in this program, you will be able to see some nuggets that help with that. Lamentations is very useful for me, and I shared it on an earlier program about how I was able to use Lamentations to start to find my way again. In the next segment, we will look at a spiritual nugget that will treat with yet another of these issues of trying to rise out of the valley that is sorrow, agony, and anguish. See you in a little while. Hi, welcome back. As I said before, we try to put spiritual nuggets in focus to support our commentary, and this is another opportunity. I'm in the book of Jude. You know, Jude is the smallest or shortest chapter or book in the whole scripture. But it still has relevance for those of us who are grieving. The book of Jude is a powerful reminder that no matter how dark the times, God has already equipped me and you to stand firm, rise above challenges, and walk in victory. It speaks to your true identity, your inner strength, and the divine support surrounding you every day. You are already chosen, loved, and protected. I make reference or segue to the book of Job because as I talk about this part of being surrounded with support every day, you know, Job in his troubles had 2 or 3 very close friends. And they were completely supportive of him for about 6 or 7 days. Thereafter, there appeared to be some dissonance, a feud, as they were not doing what they were doing with him before. And this is very useful because there are some chapters in this book that makes reference to that. Jude opens by declaring that you are called, loved, and kept by God. You are not walking through life by accident or alone. Your steps are watched over and your future is secured. Jude reminds you that mercy, peace, and love are not given in small portions. They are multiplied, meaning God pours more than enough into your life to face every challenge with calm confidence. We have strength to stand firm. We are able to conquer life battles, tragic ones including. God rescues and sustains his people is another component of what this singular chapter in the book of Jude highlights. Jude recalls moments when God stepped in for his people throughout history. Those reminders tell you if God protected and lifted the people before, he will protect and lift you now. Another aspect of this book of Jude. God will keep you from falling. In view of the things that we have shared earlier in the program, when we reference falling, it's often about not being able to get a hang over the grief, not being able to move beyond stage 2 at best. Denial and followed by anger. You're not even getting to bargaining. So, in this book, there is some comfort when we go through it. To the extent that some people feel a memorial or a devotional would be useful, we will aim to produce a devotional on request for this book and any of the others that you feel is crucial. That is all we would say today pertaining to the book of Jude, but continue to implore that you know that you are not going to stay in ruins. We are moving from hopelessness to hopefulness during the course of our days. So, a pleasant morning to you. Be with us for another program next week, same time.